Okay, April 27th, 10 o'clock. I'm now leaving Standing Bear Farms.
Hey, Jerry and YouTube
and
fans,
there's
what's going on,
a
guys?
buddy of mine called Ghost that seems to want to keep meeting up with me on strange places. I'm off today for probably a short hike. Did 30 yesterday, so legs are burning. Great little place, Standing Bear. Totally different from any other hostel you'll ever find. So if you get an opportunity to stop here, be sure to do it. They offer showers, wash your clothes, hand wash. Electric dry though. Alright, and we're off. Okay, I'm about 3 miles outside Standing Bear and on the summit of some mountain, and we have this weird looking thing here. I have no idea what that is. I'll check AWOL later, see what they say. Strange. Kind of got a open meadow here after all that climbing. You can see we got some sunshine still staying with us. Dark clouds in a ways, but I'll take the sunshine while I can. There's more of the building. Don't know what it is. There's no signs. Welcome to Max Patch. The Smokies wouldn't give me a view, but I finally got one up here. It's windier than hell, which makes it very nippy on a sweaty body. So I'm not going to be digging around for long. Some hitters up here. I don't want to pack water up here, spend the night. How you doing? So, there's the views. It's well worth the hike to get up here. Another 200 plus miles to get here. It's nice. And of course there's our parking lot over there for those who don't want to have to hike much. Alright. So for now, back to the AT. And follow the signs. Okay. On the summit, the formal summit now. So one last 360 degree before I head down. Campsite about 2 miles away is the plan. More people up here. A lot of people camping on the summit. Crazy place. Oh, not. Way too windy for me.
Just north of downtown.
Alright. Blazes. So it's time to head downhill. If I'm not mistaken, it's pretty much all downhill from here, which means I can make those 2 miles pretty fast. So here's a close-up view of some of the better parts of the trail that I've been hiking through this past week. Because of all the rains, you can barely make out steps. And like I say, this is much better than a lot of it's been. Some of it has been so mucky that you sink 3-4 inches when you take a step. And if you don't sink, you'll slide. This here doesn't have the clay mixed in with it, so it's not quite as bad. But There's absolutely no possible way of keeping shoes and socks clean. You just go for it and hope for the best. Gets to the point to where when you do a stream crossing, you just walk right through it. Kind of rinses off some of the dirt and the mud. A little chilly on the feet for a few minutes, but actually not even a few minutes. They warm up pretty fast. But you can see that, there's just no way around this stuff. You got no choice but to literally step right into it. And this is after it hasn't rained all day today, so it's a little drier. The Smokies were a lot worse than this. This is coming down off of Max Pack, and there was places in the Smokies that were so slick and such a steep angle that it was downright dangerous trying to get down it. But you do it. Fell a few times. That was back in, actually when I was still in Georgia, because we are having such crappy weather there too. So it's all part of the game. Got a nice stream running beside us. So we're going to wrap up day 19, April 27th. Did a 15.2 mile hike from Standing Bear Farm to Roaring Fork Shelter. It's the second shelter that was on the road. I was actually going to stop at the first one, but it was only about 5 miles and it seemed totally ridiculous. I got a late start from Standing Bear because I slept in after doing the 31-mile hike the day before. I was still pretty tired, so I didn't really get on the trail until like 10 o'clock. But still made good time. The weather turned out to be nice and sunny and warm. The trail was still very mucky and wet and slippery all over the place. And most of, well, I won't even say most of the trail. It just kind of came and went depending on where I was at. I did manage to summit what they call Max Patch, which is a big open green bald area that is very popular amongst the hikers. A lot of people camp up on top of there, though I don't know why. And no water and very windy, but hey, each their own. Other than that, the day went just kind of pretty much normal. Picked up a couple shots here and there. It wasn't until later, after half a dozen of us showed up at the shelter, and these are all different hikers than I'd been with before, we ended up with a pair of day hikers who completely lost. Had no idea where they were, how to get back to their car or their tent or anything. They were out looking for what they called the tunnel. Apparently there is a tunnel that's created out of the rhododendrons, and I remember hiking through it. Actually, there's a few sections of it, and I hiked through it, and the only thing I really remember out of the whole thing was, yeah, the rhododendrons were kind of cool the way they draped over top of you, but the trail was so mucky it was one of the worst places to hike for the day. And we tried to convince these hikers how to get turned around and get back where they needed to be. They knew where Max Patch was because they weren't too far from that. And that was only like 2 miles away, but we couldn't get it through their heads on how to follow the white blazes on the trees to go north or south. So we ended up, a bunch of the hikers got all their extra gear together and set up a tent inside the shelter to keep them off the damp ground, and they spent the night with us. One of the hikers fixed them up some food and that, but it was kind of interesting that these hikers were out there day hikes. what I call city hikers. They shouldn't even be out there. They have no idea where they're going or what they're doing. The only thing they carried with them was a camera for when they found the tunnel, which they never found. Hopefully they found it on their way back though, because they would have had to have gone through it. So anyway, that pretty much summed up the night of, or the day and night of the 19th. My day 19th. Boy, I'm getting tired myself. Can't keep this straight. So anyway, that's pretty well sums things up.